Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. Want to present an idea that I have that I can't get out of my head. And, what if, I had little premonitions of this at times, and I just kind of shrugged it off. I don't know when I started having these kind of ideas that, my first idea was that maybe somehow the Russians were working with the Hillary Clinton campaign, and that without the Hillary Clinton campaign knowing, they had double crossed her, and they were they were working with the Trump people, the Trump campaign to get Trump elected. And so on election day, Hillary Clinton was fully expecting to be elected because first she was expected to be elected anyways, but with working with the Russians, like it was just an absolute certainty, but she was in total shock because they had double crossed her and were actually working with Trump all along. That was one idea I had at some point. And I've had that for a while, and I just kind of just blew it off just because it's just an idea. But I had this other idea very recently that I can't get out of my head, and it's making more and more sense to me the more and more I think about it and basically try to, see, does it work? Does the idea work? And my idea is this. My idea is that maybe the Russia collusion thing really is just a gigantic hoax. Okay, like Trump says. But it's way more than that. Maybe it was actually concocted that way, by both the Clinton campaign and the Trump campaign basically came up with this ruse, of Russia collusion. Starting with the dossier, starting back there, that's, it's a very, very complicated plot. Let me get right to the point. Is basically where the Clinton people and the Trump people were working together to fix the election in Trump's favor. And basically to get Trump elected. And basically, it's almost like a prize fight where it's fixed, and the loser just, takes a dive. And Hillary Clinton lost the election on purpose. I'm thinking, and the reason, and that because they just have some kind of business alliance that could go back, years. But I'm thinking back to where she was in the State Department, and all the influence she had around the world in the State Department. So. But leave that aside for a second. When you think about it, it really wouldn't be that difficult. Think about them being hacked, the DNC being hacked. And Debbie Wasserman Schultz, she was very much, in Clinton's favor from the very beginning. Everybody knows that. John Podesta, who was the head of the DNC before Debbie Wasserman Schultz, he was her campaign manager, but his emails got hacked as well as the DNC, and his emails got hacked by the most amateur of ways, sword phishing, whatever it was. For somebody of his intellect to be fooled in that way, it's almost hard to believe, and when you stop and think about it, it's almost impossible, but It's not as impossible to fix the election as you would think. You would think, how could they possibly do that? Just think of all the states that Trump had to win. It's almost impossible that he won those states. When he did it, believe me, I've been following politics so intensely for 15 years, for more, every day, nonstop, listening to talk radio from morning till 10 at night. And it was almost impossible to do it. That's why it was just such a miracle. And it was so, for people like myself, who's a conservative, it was so just delighted. It was a once in a lifetime thing. But it was almost impossible for him to win all the states that he did. But it really wouldn't be that difficult to fix. It's not like you have to fix voting machines or anything like that. I mean, you basically, if you had two campaigns coordinating together at a very high level, you could basically have one campaign focusing on states where he has to win, and the other campaign like purposely not focusing on those states. And nobody would really know it that much. They would just think that they were running a really bad campaign and they didn't know what they were doing, or they were lazy, or they were inept. But in each state, in each instance, in each county, you know, they would have no idea what's going on in all across the country. Only the people at the very top levels would know. So I mean, that they would just have to not basically not try as hard in places where the Trump campaign has to win. You know, I mean, simple things, you know, I mean, in terms of, you know, organizing events, how big those events would be in states where, you know, the number of visits to states that are criticals, the counties that are criticals, and those states that are criticals, and so on. I don't know. That was my idea. And believe me, I cannot get it out of my head. And I don't know, man. I really feel like there's something to my idea, and there's more to it, you know. There's more to it, but I'm just going to put a framework out there and start there. You know, I was a Trump supporter. I'm basically a Trump supporter. I'm not a supporter of this, though, for sure, of course, and absolutely not, obviously, if this is true. And but it's a thought. And I'm putting it out there, and that's the end of this video, I think. It is. It is for now. All right. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I will see you in the next video. Later, man.